Coming off of one of our most impressive defensive performance that saw us more than double the interception total for Lamar Jackson, highlighting with 2 interceptions from Paulson Adebo. Though it's our offense that continues to hold us back, as we did inevitably lose that game once again. But as we get started here today, we are 1-12, really wrapping out this season, and we'll see how many more episodes we have till the off season, as again, we're doing that hybrid kind of role where if it's the first game is a close one, it will just be 1 game per episode, but if the first one ends up being a blowout, we'll get in a second one as well. And ever since we started that, team seems to be playing a little bit better, so we'll see if that's the case, and we'll see what we're able to do here against the Washington Commanders, who do have a really good defense. So it will be a test for our offense that's already struggling. With Jonathan Allen across the middle, might need to get some of those runs to the outside. I feel like we're a better outside run team than inside run. As for their passing defense, it's honestly just as good as their rushing defense, as they're ranked 12th in the league for both rushing and passing yards per game. Their offense does a lot better passing the ball than they do rushing, and they do have the Madden legend and Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. So once again, it'll be a test for our defense, who really has come up and met the expectations that we have, or at least for some of the young guys we're trying to build around. We'll see if that continues on here today. But it will be defense up first as we get this game underway. Looks like it should be a touchback for the Commanders, and indeed it will be, as they're going to start back at that 25 as their offense heads out. Once again, led by Jacoby Brissett, who at least in previous Maddens plays extremely well. And in this one, though, not as clean, at least, with the 8 interceptions. And with this defense coming off a game that saw us force 4 interceptions, I would definitely love to add to that total. Paulson Adebo has just been that guy for us, and we'll hopefully get him involved, as it is a pass play 1 to the outside with a gain of 6 to Samuel. And I definitely think there's a couple guys on the outside, talking about DBs, that I do want to keep on the squad moving into next year, as it looks like maybe Seiler jumped off sides there. But he was baited by one of the offensive linemen, so instead the Commanders back up 2nd and 9 now with an empty set. Again, going to test out that DB group that does have some promise. As they go across the middle, Samuel will pick up the first down. But Adebo has definitely worked his way into that group of guys that want to try to build this defense around. But also, I think Joseph in the slot, he really hasn't been all too bad with a run to the outside that they will pick up 4. It was a good pursuit, but Gibson does at least break the first tackle. Now, the third corner we have in Mullen Jr., I just don't think he's been consistent by any means. He could stick on the squad more so as a depth player, but anything other than that, I don't think so. Also need to address this safety group. It's just been lacking in the medium and deep passing game. Now, obviously, we did trade Stafford away, brought in Savage. It wasn't because I was wanting to bring in Savage, it was just in the trade, as we do get a nice stop down the middle there, the linebackers teaming up. But I definitely wasn't sold on Fuller as the starting safety, at least strong safety. So we brought in a possible guy who could replace him, as we almost get the sack, but we will take the forced throwaway. So yeah, we'll see what happens when we get to the offseason in terms of that strong safety spot, who's available in free agency, and if there's anyone intriguing in the draft, as Bonito will get the sack, dropping him out of field goal range as well. It's not too often that we do get those sacks, but that was a great one for us, as we will start back deep in our own territory. Commanders did get a good punt, so we'll be at the 15, as we are going to again try to kick these runs to the outside, though have to cut back there and just get back to the line of scrimmage. We're also running out of time here for Bennett to even prove that he belongs on the practice squad of this team moving forward. It's been a pretty bad season for him, as there's instant pass rush. Can't blame him for that one. There was just not even zero, negative blocking. So it will be a 3rd and 17 back at the 8. Hard count, no one jumps as we try to set up the halfback screen with a block out in front. We just need the one more, which we will get, but Akers stepped out. Should have been a first down, just not aware enough of the sideline. Will probably be safer to punt. So the first two drives of both teams really don't go anywhere, but at least the Commanders went forward. Meanwhile, ours went backward as it's going forward here. Gibson shakes off the first tackler. Murray dives, but comes up empty. So first drive, not great for the Commanders. Second, really good as they break off a huge run for Antonio Gibson on the house call. Now that is the concern with Kobe Durant at free safety. He's just not much of a tackler. Gives up the big play, and we're going to have to try to climb our way back into this game as Akers, not stepping out that time, does just pick up 3. But I definitely expect a lot of change to come to this offense when we get to the off season, as we had our receiver, but a great play from the corner, and Kendall or Kyle Fuller, one of the Fuller brothers, gets the pick. We had the drag Julio across, but probably waited too long to make that throw, as it is Kendall Fuller with the pick. Yeah, definitely waited too long. But that's really just the reads we've seen with Bennett out there. He's just been late to react, and when he does even get some of those throws, oftentimes the throw themselves are off, as Gibson does shake the first defender, but not getting by the second. Had a really strong jump cut there. Jones was sitting in the gap he was originally headed to, but quickly shook him off, as will be another run. Gibson shakes off Murray, and we'll pick up another few yards. They're making it 3rd and short. So far in this one, kind of seems like the game plan for the Commanders is just really have Brissett just manage the game. Not really have him throw a whole lot, and when he does, most of it has been short routes as he finds Terry McLaurin once again. Though McLaurin's previous catch was the one that was about 20-ish yards down the field. Just really bad zone coverage really on that one. As I'll go across the middle once again, McLaurin with his 3rd catch, carrying Murray for the first down inside the 10. As they'll shake it up here, this time Gibson not in the backfield. It's going to be an empty set. Across the middle, Durant whiffs the cutback. Almost gets him in the end zone, but down to the 2 instead. Yeah, the team definitely just not playing tight coverage this year. It's just really been the problem the whole time. We're sitting in our zones, but the zones aren't really sitting close to the receivers, as that's a good throw to the outside. Terry McLaurin capitalizes off the Kendall Fuller interception. We'll make it 14-0. And the rule we put in place was a 3-score advantage, 3-touchdown advantage. Means a 2-game episode, so already your make it or break it drive as Allen down the middle just ate up Cam Akers. Really not a way you want to end the first quarter. It's been all Commanders. We had 3 passing plays for 8 yards and 3 rushing plays for no yards. So pretty easy math as we start the second quarter. 8 total yards in that first quarter as Akers with a nice juke there, though can't outrun. I believe that was maybe Montez Sweat. Is he still with the Commanders? Yes, he is. I definitely feel like he had changed teams, but I would be wrong. Let's make an audible here. Was going to go with the jet sweep, but they do bring down the safety. I would like a zig from Johnson on this left-hand side. Allen, the quick stop across the middle. And let's go Allen's way, though he can't quite turn with the ball and get the first. So 4th and short. But we're going to go for it here. Once again, I just had mentioned is pretty much the make it or break it point. We're going to spread them wide and go with a run right down the middle. Akers with the space this time, and we'll get the first down, not breaking away there at the end, but falling forward. And we'll rotate that running back spot, bringing out Evans here, as we're going to once again try to set up that halfback screen. Worked well before. We'll get it out this time. A beautiful block on the edge. Go back and watch that. A D. Cleater helped lead the way for the first down. Shout out to 74, the left guard. What a block. As it's 1st and 10 for us inside plus territory. Not much to really throw to. We'll throw it away. Oh, definitely seeing some tight coverage on the outside, good pressure from the line, and that's really the key to success, really for a defense. As we do gain some yards there, but Zach Evans, a little bit shaken up, going to get helped up by his teammate, and he'll head to the locker room. Looks like some sort of wrist or forearm injury. We have seen a lot of these running backs this year shaken up at various points throughout the season. The only one really missing a lot of time, though, has been Akers, but that's really No surprise for him as we have Julio downfield, course corrects, but not gonna get by the safety. No, that's actually the corner Fuller who had the pick earlier. This was playing deep that time. And the athletics from the veteran receiver. He's got to show these young guys that he's still got it. With a 1st and 10 just outside the 10, maybe look for Rodgers on the quick slant or hand it off. Try to find some space, just push forward, get a gain of 2. Now on 2nd and 8, we'll go to a heavier set. Only 2 receivers spread, bringing out the fullback. And that's where we're going to go, though nowhere to run as Allen eats it up once again. He's definitely been a monster across the middle. Also doesn't help us out. He's also on the same side as Chase. So double teaming, not really going to work out as we have to roll out. Bennett wanted to scramble. Instead, let's dump it off. We'll go Allen, who runs backwards. That doesn't make much sense. 4th and 5 at the 6. Kind of feel like going for it. I mean, at this point of the season, what's it gonna hurt? We've only won 1 game to this point, so why not? Gonna look for a little bit of some play action rollout. See if we could get B to that back corner, and there we go. Julio will cap off his athletic play we saw earlier with a nice rolling throw that time from Bennett. Will get on the scoreboard finally. Now, we've bought our defense some time in this one at least, but we need to see some improved play, some tighter coverage, sitting under the middle as most of these passes have been under the middle. Or this time we go to the outside and we play a little bit too deep once again. That time was a Debo. Granted, he was playing his assignment in man or in zone there. Might play a little bit more man. Feel like this team built slightly better for that as no pass rush. We do get the quick stop, only a gain of 3 that time to Curtis Samuel. Savage quickly there to get the stop in that man coverage. So let's just try to work with that a little bit this game. See if that works out a little bit better. I typically try to split it a little bit. Man coverage doesn't work that time. A bad angle from Durant. And Mullen gets beat as Terry McLaurin finds his 2nd of the first half. And with just under 3 minutes left, it's really time that we see some more big plays here from Julio as we need to get down the field a little bit quickly. We're gonna motion over the tight end, that's Hopkins. He's gonna try to leak out, and he does have space, beating 3 different defenders. Can he get down the sideline? No, bumped out by Fuller, but a massive gain 1st down for us, getting into plus territory. That was really one of the few times that we've ran that play where it actually worked out like how we hope it does. As we go with a little bit of some delay here, find some space. Akers tries to break to the outside. He bumps into Amari Rodgers. Otherwise, that might have been a house call. But I definitely am liking the attitude that this team is coming out with here this drive. Just need to see more of that, and hopefully the 2-minute warning doesn't slow it down. But we'll stick with the same look, keeping things tight as well, matching up against a tight look from the defense with a double A gap, though they will drop back in. Why did we hand it off? I definitely selected a pass play, but I guess we wanted to get it to Akers. He'll pick up 3. That could have gone a lot worse. So we'll just get out of that entirely. We'll take the sign. Once again, trying to try to set up this halfback screen. Allen reads it, and he honestly almost gets the pick. Instead, just a quick tackle. As we'll get back to the line fairly quickly here. Look for a crossing route across the middle. That's kind of why it's called that. In Rodgers, have a couple guys going deep. We do have Rodgers, but Bennett overthrew it. That's been the problem. At the 34 here, I think we take the point. So we'll send out the field goal unit. So Brown with a 51-yard attempt to keep this thing at least closer, as long as we hit it, and it is up and beautifully down the middle. We will tack on the field goal before half, 21-10. Now, if we can just contain McLaurin this drive, I think we'll have some decency going in to halftime. With a pass across the middle, using McLaurin to just set up Curtis Samuel over and over again. That's where I would like to have some man coverage, but clearly Mullen not really set up for it as they go with the run, and just enough space for Gibson to get to the outside, though he pays for it. Getting his legs chopped out. 1st down out called for the Commanders. They have under a minute left, 2 more remaining. Trying to set up a pass once again. Going to the outside, Joseph. Iffy angle, spinning Gibson. We'll get another 1st down for him, this time down to the 42. Just 1 incomplete pass on the day for Brissett. I mean, very much the definition of just managing the game, as quick throw to the outside just gains 1. I'll take it. They maybe need 5-ish yards to be in field goal range. might be able to hit one in from here. I'm honestly not quite sure who their kicker is, as we knocked him out of field goal range last time, as that one will be a throwaway. I'll take it once again. Good coverage on the cover two. We'll see if that works for us on 3rd and 9. Now this is the same formation to keep having McLaurin try to drag out the coverage, leaving Curtis Samuel free underneath. That's what they try to go with this time, but they wait and actually find their tight end instead. So we fixed one thing on that play, but not everything, clearly. With under about 10 seconds left in this one, knocked out. Joseph came crashing in to knock that one free, as it will be 2nd and 10 down at the 27. Under 10 seconds left in this one. Try to bring some extra rushers, knocking it free, Murray. That will force the field goal attempt as they look for a 2-touchdown lead at half. Kicking from about the 34 will be a 44-yarder. And that one, just as good as ours, right down the middle, will be 14 points with, I think, a 1 second left before half, 2 seconds. So let's just get on into half. The team really did well there in that second quarter to pull ourselves back in. We're still needing to see some more things go our way. Defense cleaning up some drives as we've kind of given up some chunk plays here and there still, but again, better that second quarter, just need to build upon it. Now, as we look around the league, the surprising team really has been the Cardinals, though they are down massive right now, 21-0. But the Cardinals 8-5, Niners 9-4, though that more likely. As we look along to the next matchup, have the Colts versus the Steelers, 2 young quarterbacks, and both teams doing, I think, pretty well. The Colts get the win, though, with Richardson 8-6 on the year, 31-20. Though they do have Taylor, so a little bit of a difference there. Eagles taking on the Seahawks. Seahawks 5-8, a little bit of a disappointment coming off of the previous year where they were at least a shock. Eagles also not doing very well, 6-7. But as we get stuck back into our game, we will be starting off with possession, which is key to us really trying to help take control here in this second half, as Hodges Tomlinson thought he had some space to the outside, but instead we'll actually be starting at the 2, so that space really collapsed quickly. Now, I would like to get Akers going a little bit more here in the second half. Really didn't get a lot of running lanes open in that first, but we'll see what we can get going as we have to cut right down the middle, as there was nothing doing on the outside. Once again, just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Though I actually think in that first half, our better running came from shotgun, so we might shake it up a little bit. Go with some more spread out running. As we're going to motion over Hopkins here. It's still from shotgun, but has a few more blockers, and Akers not making the first man miss. So already early on here, facing a big play. 3rd and 9 back at the own 23. Maybe see if we could get some space to the outside, though that doesn't really open up, and then really just an awful pass there from Bennett, not even close to the target. It's going to be an easy interception, and the Commanders have a great opportunity here to make it that 3-score lead. Really just looked like a panic throw from Stetson Bennett there rather than really anything else. Going to the outside, and Gibson with a heck of a grab. Mullen Jr. really struggling in this game. Now, can we just get a goal line stand? That'd be fantastic, as Gibson will finish off what he started. So not even close to a goal line stand. They do go up 3 scores. We'll see if we could draw things back quickly, but it might be a 2-game episode with us really struggling in this one. But as we are already into this second half, we've already watched a full first half, so we'll see if we could quickly get some scores on the board, as that's definitely not gonna help. I think Madden's giving me the answer. Let's try to get through this game a little bit quicker. Just a few plays later, it's 2nd and goal, down at the 3, as they will go back to Gibson, who Murray stuffs at the line. Nice to see. Now just have to hope we can get one more stop here on 3rd and goal, and at least just force a field goal attempt. They go back to the running, opens up, and yeah, Durant he's not a tackler, which is a struggle for us at safety, as they will tack on another touchdown. Now, unfortunately, on the immediate after kick return, we got laid out and coughed up the ball, so the Commanders will take over once again. So definitely not seeing the same defensive performance that we saw against the Ravens. Team, I guess, just gave all they could the last couple games and had nothing left in this one, as it will be once again another touchdown this time going to Jahan Dotson. Now jumping forward a little bit after a fumble on a sack by Stetson Bennett. Once again, the Commanders take over inside the red zone. Just a common occurrence and really not much time coming off the clock since their previous score. So apparently this offense saw all the turnovers the defense was forcing and decided, hey, we need to get in the turnover department as well. Though clearly these ones not helping out their team. This is going to be an audible here for the Commanders. At this point, just start running some clock. I mean, what's the point? They're already scoring 45, make it 52 if the penalty is on us. It does actually look like it's going to be on us, so this one should stand as it's a late hit on the quarterback. Now as we jump on here to the fourth quarter where nothing good has happened so far, once again, we send the fullback on the wheel route and we find him deep downfield. But we also suffer another injury because we can't have a good play without something bad happening. But inevitably, that drive wouldn't end up going anywhere, as on fourth down, we would set up the halfback screen, have some space, but the tackle comes in, and we'll lose possession. But the following drive would end up looking promising for this defense, as we would end up getting back-to-back sacks following two blitzes right down the middle, thinking we're about to get off this field without giving up any points. Antonio Gibson had something else in mind though, as he would run for another touchdown, putting even more points on this board, when this game probably should have ended a while ago. But mercifully, at least there, the game will finally end. A awful showing for this offense, who really, I mean, obviously we gave up a lot of points, but it's not even entirely on this defense, as offenses put them in poor situations over and over again. The turnovers were horrendous as we lose 59-10. Now we'll continue this homestand as we are kicking off here against a surprisingly good Saints team. They were not very good last year, cap issues, but they made some changes and seemingly working for them. So we'll just have to hope that during the week of practice, we were able to fix whatever was happening with that offense, because it was just awful. Play one for the defense, though just a gain of 2 as they find Cooper Kupp. A little bit of a revenge game, if you will, for Kupp. I think we did right by him by trading him away, giving him a chance, and with the Saints doing pretty well this year, he has a chance to make it to the playoffs, which is something that we were wanting with the trades that we made. And I'm sure he wouldn't be very happy with where this team is right now, and would not be very happy with Stetson Bennett, considering he could barely throw the ball, at least in Madden. 3rd and 8 with a wide open receiver to the outside. A big hit there from Jones. Would have preferred better coverage. But Johnson makes the play as the Saints will continue on forward, this time at the 40 for first down. With a handoff down the middle, cutting to the left-hand side, almost, but not quite going to get the first down to midfield, but a gain of 9 is pretty good. Now we'll definitely chime in here for the first drive for either team, either offenses, and then go from there as a first down for Williams as he breaks away down to the 40. Definitely getting excited about what we're going to be able to do when we get to the offseason, because really, even if it's a poor free agent class, still going to be some big upgrades for us. With a throw to the outside, Savage takes the bad angle, but Kupp will step out after the gain of 6. Right now, this Saints team really just kind of dinking and dunking down the field. Nothing really crazy for them, just taking what we give them, and that's all you really have to do. Good juke as Kamara finally gets on the field and speeds away that burst. We'll send them into the end zone. Saints take an early lead. Now let's see if Bennett has anything better for us in this game. He's thrown nearly double the amount of interceptions, 2 touchdowns, as we're going to start with Akers here, who's not going to get by Campbell. Good pursuit. Will be a gain of 8 play 1. I definitely want to try to limit at least the downfield throws from Bennett. We'll allow him some short throws. Maybe see if he could scramble a little bit, because the deep throws have not been working for him, as we do find DeGuara. That time, a late throw works. Do we want him doing that often? No, but I'll take it that time. As we get down the middle, trying to get by the linebackers, but they do a pretty good job just to gain a 2. Not really getting much of a push up front. Definitely need to work on this offensive line. That's another thing that's really holding this team back, but honestly, there's so much holding the team back as the spin move doesn't work, nor does staying on our feet. So the broken tackle really doesn't help us out. It's a loss, and we'll have 3rd and 11 with a play action roll. Going to this right-hand side, we had a couple different options, but everyone's just dropping deep, so we'll toss it, get swatted, and Jason Peters shaken up once again as we end our first drive. So as we jump forward here, Saints have driven down the field and are inside the 10. 1st and goal. Trying to take a 2-score lead, they swing it to the outside, they find Cooper Kupp, and very quickly will take that 2-score lead. Coverage there wasn't bad, just have to react quicker. And we're going to take a big leap forward as really nothing was happening that entirety of the second quarter and into the third as we're about halfway through. But we have a 3rd and inches trying to keep this drive alive. Akers with the first down to the 26. So let's stick in here as we try to end a drive with some points. An opportunity to maybe win a game. I mean, it's only 14 points to this point. So we'll see what we could get as we're going to have to roll. Let's get this one out to DeGuara with the catch and a couple of yards. Try to let some of these plays develop a little bit just to see if any of our receivers downfield will get open. But honestly, it doesn't really happen that way. So we might just need to get the ball out a little bit quicker as Akers diving forward will pick up the first down, now down to the 15. And from there, let's try to set up some play action rolls. We had a guy for a second. Stump this one back off or not. It'll actually be a throw out of a sack. Now on 2nd and 10, just about 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Go with a run down the middle, but they filled that gap really well. Not a whole lot going for Akers. Running game has been a little slow but steady. I want to say he's around 16 carries, about 75 yards. As we're going to send Johnson in motion here. Fake the jet sweep, see if he could wrap around, or do they cover? They cover. Try to get this one out to Akers, but he gets clogged along the defensive line. We'll take a field goal from here. Now as we jump in here to early parts of the fourth quarter, it's 21-3 as we have a 4th and 7. Really a big part of the game where we need a first down, or this game is about over and the pass is underthrown. Gonna get intercepted. I believe that's Abram. And the Saints could very well run away with this game from here. Now with about 3 minutes left in this game, we'll run a drive here. We were able to at least get a stop after our previous timeout somehow, but then the next drive, it was another turnover on 4th and was another score for the Saints. So 28-3. Just trying to see if we can maybe find ourselves a late touchdown in this one. Just a little something to, I don't know, make us feel a little bit better. That pass thrown a little bit behind, but decent adjustment from Johnson. It's like, we're just going to keep this thing rolling. If it works, it works. So let's not try to change anything. Julio not going to quite get the separation or the catch. A big hit coming in there late as well. Tyrann Mathieu laying the boom as we have 2nd and 10 still at the 45. A little over 2 minutes left in this one. Look for the quick throw right down the seam. We're going to have Max Williams, who made his return after his injury in this game. It is nice to have him back as he was really getting some good play going before he did get injured. As we're inside the 2-minute warning here, we'll go back to Williams, but apparently not on the same page as Stetson Bennett. Didn't look like that pass was so far off that it couldn't have been caught or at least attempted. But it just is what it is, as that one should have been picked off by Davis. Glad it wasn't, though, as we have a 3rd and 10. Just trying to get something here late as we are going to roll, have a guy coming across, but with that throw like that, it's not even competitive. So for one last possible play here in this one, 4th and 10. Let's roll, see if we can find anyone open. Not really, and wanted to get that one downfield. Couldn't see what any of the player icons were because that's how bad we've played. So these 2 games really did not go very well today. We'll get through this second one rather quickly because there wasn't much to show. We managed 3 points on our way to another loss, 28-3. But with those back-to-back losses, the positive news is we're almost done with season 1. We have 2 more games left and we'll probably go ahead and just get through those. Even if they're close games, we'll just get through the rest of season 1 next episode. So that way we can really push forward into the off season where there's so much work that needs to be done, and I'm really excited to get stuck into it. So speaking of off season, let's end by taking another look at a position group. And I think a group that we need to look at is the offensive line. And we talked a little bit about this with the defensive line. We can't really look at these top 5 guys or even really round 1 to 2 guys, as those 2 spots are really reserved for the quarterback. And then there is a corner. Again, I'll show them in case you guys have missed out. There's a corner I absolutely love in this class in Peter Rice, who does have the B catching, A man and press with B zone. I think he could be really solid. There's also a possibility of a very similar style player in Matt Gibson, though not as tall. He's being 5'3" compared to 6'3". So there's a corner I very much love and would love to pick up outside of the quarterback in the early round, whether it's round 1 or round 2, who knows? We'll see. So if we could find some great value at the offensive line group, I think that would be fantastic. Now, there is a top 5 left tackle in Levi Harris, who does look really good. The tops, all A's. Looking at the broad view, there's also a round 1 to 2 in Frank Newton, who does also look like he could be pretty good as well. Now, there is a talent at left guard in Reed Dickinson, a day 3, so someone who could pick up much later out of LSU, who does have the A awareness and impact block. Possibility for pass blocking to also be the A. We're definitely going to need to find out more information on him, so he could be a great guy in the offseason to have that specialized scouting for. As for center, another group that again is providing really good value late on. George McAllister around 3 to 4. Those top 4 skills still looking really good. You can say the same for Dane Robbins, another guy out of LSU. There's a little bit of a drop off with Brian Haroff. Haroff? Not sure. But the top 3 skills look like they could be good. Run blocking being a C is concerning. Similar for Jim Ford here, who's another day 3. His pass block is a D. So these bottom guys, more so depth, but possibly the top 2 could be starting caliber. At right guard, there's a lot of talent throughout this draft. There's a couple round 1 to 2s in Jackson and Young. Around 2 to 3 in Keith Casey even, who we might have a spot opened up there to pick him out of Alabama. Again, the top 4 look really good. Similar here with Ross Van Dyke in the round 3 to 4 out of Louisville. Top 4 look good. Little bit of a run blocking issue with Khalil Price out of Miami in that 3 to 4 round, but still there's a widespread area we could go with, though the tackles seemingly are going to be top 5 or round 1, guys. As the right tackles, there's McElroy top 5, Brayton a top 5, Austin around 1, and Hampton around 1, though all their skills do look really good. But this is an offensive line class that is well developed, and I think we could find starting talent at any of at least the interior offensive line spots. Potentially they could flex out to tackle as well. We'll see as we move forward, but some definite promise at least for the offensive line group, which is a group we definitely need to address. But feel free to let me know down below which one of those linemen you think might be the guy for us to go after. As again, we will round out season 1 next episode. We're 1-14, so even if both of these next 2 games ends up being wins, doesn't really change much for us. So we'll get through those quickly and onto the off season, where I expect massive changes. I do not expect us to keep around a lot of guys moving into the next year. Handful from both the offense and defense, really. So expect a lot of turnovers. Going to be fun, so make sure you don't miss it. Hit that bear icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the subscription button, and definitely make sure you tick that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series is posted every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with the state-only challenge, or currently states-only challenge with the Virginias every Wednesday and Saturday. Plus all the shorts highlighting all these videos. They come out the day after the actual full-length videos come out, so don't miss any spoilers, stay up to date, and definitely make sure you're checking out the community tab where you could see the players of the week or participate in polls, though I don't imagine we're going to have any players of the week in this one. No one really did well at all. So until next time, or hopefully we'll see some better play, we'll see you guys then. Bye.